Hello, folks. Rever here with another episode of Gifts of the Caucasus. And our Field 19 just became ready for harvest. So I started up the tractor. And while I was sitting in them, I was sitting there thinking, and I've thought this a few times, I've got my chaff guy going. And if you can see, oops, over the hill here, down on the hill here, is the trailer I've put a lot of hours in chasing. And I've noticed that, as I go to do these harvests, and now I'm kind of in a bit of a hurry because I want to get the sunflowers planted ASAP. Not that urgent, but certainly don't want to lose my contract. Do want to point out that my time, if you notice the time on this, is running this time. So I'm not sure why. The last, I just started the same way I always do. I don't think I did anything different that I'm aware of. Oops, what traffic is this guy in? He's in traffic with his own thing. Yeah, I've tried a bit of experiment, but I don't think I'm going to do again. Let's stop him for a second. I was trying to see if I did some headlands, and this guy misses a lot more than the little guy does. But I got another experiment after this I'll show you at some point here. So let's drive course. Back in business. Okay, yeah, in other words, this guy just misses a lot. But if I do the big headlands, then I miss a lot in the corners. It's sort of half dozen of one, 6 of the other. So, anyway. Back over to this guy. So he's kind of busy, and he's actually just pretty much full. So let's just stop him for now. Yeah, Alright, what I want to do is I thought I'd like to get another tipper and tractor trailer set up. And there's a trailer here that I would like to use, but there's 2 things I don't like about it. We do have these different crops, which is kind of wonderful. Especially we can get sunflowers and concrete and other things that are on this map. But I don't like the fact that the price is $20,000. If we come back to, this back button. Now that. Here, we have cramps that hold 60,000 and they don't hold nearly as much. Now, I know there are slightly different tractors. It might be, a little more like this with 40,000. So the whole thing's a little bit cheaty in that it holds 100,000. But you can see the pricing on these is 70. Well, that's 75. It's a little different. Not 100,000. So what I'm thinking of doing, just for fairness sake, is coming in here and modding this tipper. Where is he? And making him, like 100,000, so he costs us more money, but also maybe adding a couple more of the crops. So if you give me 1 minute, I'm going to escape out of the game. And I will be right back when I get the video recording the desktop. All right, see you in a second. There we go, guys. Back. I am in my games folder, and I'm going to come into Farming Simulator Mods. And I pre-checked this a little bit that I got the right file, but it's actually this one right here. So I'm going to copy this, Cramp SB 360S. I'm going to come back to my games, just because it's out of the, nothing shouldn't interfere. And then I'm going to come here. I'm going to hit Extract All. Again, you can do this anywhere. I'm going to extract this, which shouldn't take too long. And it will open up the unzipped zip file. And I come down here to moddescription.xml. Right click, edit with Notepad. And that's probably because I just had it open, that warning message. So here's our different crops. So I want to add hops. Now again, you want to make sure that you're spelling it I think I'm going to add oil cake at this point as well. And then I'm going to come down here to this price and change this from 20,000 to 100,000. So, you know, nothing else that I need to change about it at this point. So I'm going to hit the save button and close this. Then I'm going to highlight all of these files and I'm going to say send to compressed zip folder. And then I'm going to name it the same exact thing, capitals and all, CRAMPE, capital SB, 3060, capital S. And then I'm going to cut this guy. And I'm going to come back into the mods. And I'm going to paste this guy, just replace whatever was in there. Let me just real quick come back out to the games just for the sake of it, in case we have a problem. And more likely that, you know, months from now I'll, you know, forget that this was the original and what's in there might have been modified. So by the way, I kind of do that too because I sort of know what's been edited and modified as we did different modifications in different places. So if you're more organized you stay with this stuff, you're more likely to remember a month from now when you go to look at it. Well, there we go. So I'm going to start the game up and we'll see what happens. All right, so I'll be back in 1 second, guys. Back in game and just hopped over to this tractor. I got my silage guy going again, but other than that, I haven't done a thing. So let's go back to here and see what damage we did. Tippers. If I come back, where is he? So there we go. So I made him 100,000. I don't see oil cake and hops pictured down here. But again, if I can get the regular crops and the sunflowers, that'll be fine. I really didn't, you know, some of my attempts do fail. I've been kind of lucky in winging it on camera and getting it. But again, we'll see what happens if we buy this guy. If we have problems, we might, or can't load oil cake or other things down the road. I'm not too worried about that anyway, like I said. All right, so let's buy this guy. And there's also a new mod that I added, and hopefully I'll remember to put it on the list down there. No, that's... Oh, did I not add it to the folder? That's right. This is good enough. Let's see what trucks we have under modded. This is... Oh, that's for the beast thing that we haven't gotten to yet. We're going to wait for those trees in the field. So here's another Agra truck. We don't have enough money for it. And Kenworth, these are box trucks. $175,000 man, which really isn't too bad, but I do want a truck staying in line with the field thing. So maybe we'll just buy a second one of the in-game gold edition. I think you have to have the gold edition for this, but we'll buy another one of these. I've been very happy with it, and while it's not overly exciting, we have the money for it. And I don't know, let's make this one lime green. Not that it matters, but I do like to make them different colors. Just, I don't know, sometimes it helps identify them. So there he is. So hopefully this combination works out pretty well. I'm going to do Control E here real quick, and I'm not sure where I'll put him in the... If I put him here, then he's sort of mixed up with that guy. Let me try to put him here. He'll chase, you know, that truck there. I might have to hit it twice to get to hit the button, you know, like Control 5 twice to get to him, but that's okay. as we get more vehicles, just what you have to do. So let's get out of this menu and see about hooking him up. Now hopefully he's powerful enough. This is not the most overpowered tractor trailer. He attaches. Doesn't look like anything's going to hit, which is wonderful. Sometimes you buy these modded stuff and the trailer hits the truck and it jams itself up. Alright, I should get my chaff operation going. I kind of half forgot about that. Let's pull this guy up here. And, yeah, well, we're offloading anyway, so we haven't caused ourselves too many problems. And speaking of chaff, let's just real quick jump into him. And oh, he lost his course. Alright, so what I had done was grass operation, shop, outline, and 6 is fine. That's fine. I started in the northwest corner facing east, 1 headland. Now I did something different, didn't I? Yeah, I should have saved that before I just save it as a temp. What did I do different? What happens if I reverse that guy's direction? No, he still wants to go the other way. So why don't we do this rather than fight with him? Looks like he's in about the same spot. We're just going to run down to where this grass starts and let him go in the other. The problem is it somehow reversed my direction, so to speak. So, all right, there he goes. So he's got what, 13,000 and. Oh, sorry, keep hitting the wrong button. Yeah, so this guy, so he needs to get up to 23 before we need to empty him. So let's get this guy going again. And this time I definitely started in the northwest, going east, 1 headland around that way. Hopefully he'll start and go in the right direction. It's kind of tough sometimes with these kind of courses to do that. Yep, got lucky. Alright, so there we go. Well, we got another truck set up. So when I hit 5 again, switch over to him. That's not going to be so bad. I might even move that other truck into the same thing. So once again we'll be busy. Crone X is in traffic again. Yeah, so that's really not working out very well. By the way, the new Crone X doesn't get jammed up, making the turn anymore. Yeah, that's just but he does miss an awful lot. It takes him 150 yards to get on course. So, like I said, if there's some bizarre chance that the guys who make the drive control mod could get the turning at the end a little bit better, that would really make it. Besides that, I think there should be some option to never let the chaser vehicle go out of the field. So there you go. There's my 2 course play wishes. I don't care what he's got to do. He can't leave the outline of the field, because that's where he jams up every time. He does these goofy runs a half mile away from the field, hits trees, goes into lakes, whatever else. If he would just stay in the field boundaries, it'd be 3/4 less problems. So there we go. So we'll have to jump through him each time, but Yeah, so we'll start getting this guy going, and then once they're ahead of him enough, we can get the plow tractor going. I'm going to slow his speed down so I can properly chase his cruise control speed. Let's see how this... Another nice thing about that glance mod, you can see the speeds of the tractor, so you know you got the right cruise control setting. There we go, back in business. And the other guy, is he up to... Yeah, so the next question is do we get an auger wagon? We really don't have enough money right now. Overloader, auger wagon, that would be nice, because I think I can't get this stuff dropped off at the farm before he stops. Like, he harvests faster than I can get the stuff up there, which, not the end of the world at this point, but as we get more and bigger fields, it'll be nice to be able to overload the course play. Alright, there we go. So that guy's almost up to 23,000 over here. As a matter of fact, he's there now, so that means we can run this guy down to the BGM. So I'll let him make his turn. Watch what he does. If I haven't shown you this, he just, so see what I did, you can kind of tell, probably hard to see, but I did like 6 headlands, and then I cut it back to 1 headland, so that he would start his turn. But watch what he does here. He turns all the way around, then he tries to get to like the first point, so he's actually almost facing in the other direction, and he turns sharp that way, and then he's turns so sharp that he sort of overshoots the line again, and makes this big S turn, and he's still not going straight even at this point. He has to correct back a little bit the other way, so, and just in doing all that, he misses an awful lot. So part of it is trying to do these small fields, I guess, with them. So one of my things was, I'm wondering if I'm better off not trying to find another like auger wagon that could accept chaff off the back of him, that the smaller guy doesn't get jammed up on, and yet can still, so he'll still be able to overload like he does now, even if the thing's smaller or something, just so that as he makes his turn, he doesn't stop a lot. Getting slipping going there. So yeah, since I last left you, I'm not sure where I was. We had filled up the last episode. We had filled up the bunker number 2, and he's emptying what I call the bunker number 3, or number 1, I mean. And I have this pile that I'm loading everything into. How's my corn doing? I'll show you here that I got 800 and some thousand, so again, this pile's letting me stay ahead and keep the chaff operation on the fields going with no pause. So we'll be back up over 100 million, probably more than we started with in the last episode. There we go. We got the town field. I already cut that field, but I haven't cut the big grass field 13 yet. So there should be just a little bit more coming off of this field, the shop field. And how's my corn doing? Corn is in needing of getting emptied pretty shortly here. Get Get this guy back into the neighborhood. I don't think... Is he going to make it? Just stop him well out of this guy's way. Jump over to here. 85%, I think we're going to make it. Even though this is a short row. At least we'll get some of them off of there, if not all of it. There we go. Good timing. Doesn't get much better than that, does it? Yeah, this field I planted and had the wrong width set. So I got a bunch of gaps in it, but it's okay. We'll get it right next time. One thing about farm sim, it's always easy to do it again the next time. Okay, there we go. Head back down the other end of the field so we're ready. It comes back and we are harvesting and chaffing, and in a few minutes, I don't want this guy to be too close up our butts because I believe he will be faster. So when I get probably close to halfway, I'll get this well out of the way and back him up a little bit. What I'll do now is jump over to this guy. Crone X is slipping. Oh, he's on those trash cans. Yep. I knew that would be a problem too, so. Yeah, so my little experiment's failing miserably. But hey. You try things in life. I mean, with Thomas Edison, I think, what was it, thousands of different materials before he found one that worked in the light bulb. And it just meant he had a big budget. Alright, there we go. So he's back in business. I don't know that this guy doesn't have too much in him, but he's got a couple long rows here. If I'm remembering right, he can't get all the way down and back. So you kind of have to chase him for a little while, or else he, ends up with his pipe. See, there's where I messed up right there. You can also see another dark line to my left. So I'll chase him for a second. Like I said, I think the plow will catch up to this guy, so I want to get him well ahead. I can always stop the, not plow, cultivator, disker. And we always called it, and we didn't do too much of it. I mean, we just planted hay, but we did have a disc. Sort of dependent. Most of the time we just, the hay doesn't need to be plowed up and redone, not unless you're going to change the type of hay, and ours was more like field grass that we threw certain types of seeds in, get a little extra of this or that. So in like the 4 years I worked on the farm, we only ever replanted things, say like once in that time, and that was even a little bit of odd thing for them to do. It was more because they had too many weeds in the field, so they plowed it. I wasn't involved with that too much. I was still in school at the time, and it was something they did, in the spring before I got out of school. So, and I think it was like one of the neighbors came over and plowed it, and then the owner of the farm disked it. All right, so what are we doing? We're getting in this guy. And we're going to set up a course play course, not course recording. Let's do some field work in field 19. And we're going to Start in the same northwest corner. We're going to face east. We're going to do, I want to do 2 headlands. But I want to do them, I don't care which direction I go, but I do want to do them after. So see, I flipped this little arrow over. Geezer Marty pointed that out to me. And Chrome BAX is wrapped up on those stupid trash cans again. Oop, let's set this guy. Let's boom. Yep, so he'll start right there. So he'll miss a big thing with those headlands. I wonder if I should just do, let's just do 1 headland so we don't have that big gap. I don't think he's going to get hung up on anything. And let's go down. Yeah. Calculate me that. Yeah, see, he'll just miss less space. And there's no reason to do 2 headlands. Alright, we better get over that chrome before he sits there all afternoon. Alright, so... yeah, you're just not going to do it, buddy. You're not smart enough. I'm not smart enough to back up. There we go. Alright, hopefully it doesn't get... well, the next pass, there's not too much more to go. Alright, you're still starting. You're not even near full, so you'll be done before you're full, which is fine with me. This guy I need to chase. Alright, so we'll get ready to plant some sunflowers in this field. And since the tasks are going to start getting awful repetitive here, I will just keep bouncing back and forth. I'll move that guy up to the field 13 so he can get going, and we'll get this thing harvested and then come back at some point here soon. So we got ourselves 2 trucks now. We're moving on up. We don't have much money again, but like I said, I kind of wanted to do this in the auger wagon so before we started buying another field, which I'm not 100% sure if we'll buy a field or if we'll go for some building, but time will tell. Alright, I'll be back shortly. Guys, I thought I'd show you a little bit of the busyness on the farm. Not sure how exciting it actually is, but I'm not quite sure. I'm sure some of you can read the glance mod up the top there, but depending on the screen and recording quality. Anyway, I've got a lot going on. I'm rushing to get this chaff unloaded so that I can try to get back to the corn harvester, which I'm sort of putting a priority on since I've got a guy cultivating right behind him, and then I've got a planter planting right behind the cultivator, so to speak. Not right behind. Close enough that I need to keep the whole train moving or else it's going to stop. So you can see once I get up to about 75% or so corn, he'll turn the corner down there. Kind of see him on the map. There's a lot going on. See all the course play, different guys I got running back and forth. So we're still not done emptying that silage bin number 1. Really not that much later than, I'm still not even done harvesting that cornfield that we started a little while ago. And we'll see now I'll have to stop him, get him going straight down the road. And once I hit 81%, it's a good time to get back over to this guy. He's on his last row, that's good, so I can just get enough off of him that he can finish the row, and just have to get down there and stop him. Get chaff, you'd see, well, maybe you can, but my chaff harvesting is already up to 93%. Get this guy, this harvester down to 0. He's at 50% now. I'm not going to finish this one, no problem. Probably didn't stop now. I guess we'll get up to 0. Yeah, this combination is not as good. I think that when you load this trailer up, this thing will spin out of control if you go too fast. So I will just stop him here, get back to this guy. Let's see if we can, there's no way we're going to make it up to the chaff harvester before he's done. That's all right. Get there soon enough. We're done, pretty much done harvesting that field. Which means I can get the equipment out of the way once we get done with this. Chasing. So yeah, having the 2 trucks is nice. The trailer, while it holds a lot, is a bit much for this truck. So I'm not sure that having that extra tractor won't be a bad thing. I may use him somehow else and get a bigger one and do overloading like I talked about with an auger. So that's back in motion. Have to come right back to him because he won't quite fill this trailer. That's his next pass. Come back down to the BGM again. There we go. Let's jump over to this guy. Stop. Let's just take care of that since we're right here. And we'll take care of this little bit since we're right here. And since we're done with him for a little while, we're not going to worry about the corners at this point. This is more about beats than anything else. Road for a minute. Deal with him later. Try to keep him out of everybody's way as they make their turns. Oops. Let's get this guy out of the plow guy's way real quick. I should have opened the pipe. The field. Get this guy completely unloaded down here. Yeah, so it's been a bit of a busy time, Oops, change this. Oh, he might have hit that, so just get him fully extended. One thing I did want to show you. Let's get this wrapped up first. Oops. Let's go back. Get that pipe all the way in. Get this guy completely out of the way. And jump into our cultivating tractor. See, I got the seeding going. While the other guy is going, I'll show you to do that. Alright, so this is close enough now. How's chaff doing? We'll be ready to chase that in a minute, but if we come here and look at this guy's course, let's switch over to this. I did one headland, and what that does is it takes this guy further towards the edge of the field. It doesn't hurt that he's 10 meters. The other guy just plants 9, so if you look, he kind of comes right up to the field edge. Now this tractor, and I can't say I really like this because watch what happens here. See that? He gets really close. So I think I may trade this cultivator in at some point. The other one is much more expensive, but I don't know if this tractor can pull it. But at least I mean, I had one time he was doing a Mexican jumping bean thing, so I didn't like that. But let me jump to this guy real quick. And get down to the edge here. So you see he's got 2 headlands, if you can read that. I have them both doing their headlands after they do the planting. Figures he was in the middle of the field when I'm going to show you this. But just be patient. Patience is a virtue, right? So the cultivator stays ahead of him in general, other than the fact that he got stuck a few times trying to make the turns. Sort of like the Chrome Big X 580 was. But see how this guy's doing 2 headlands, and because of that he stopped short of where the other guy was. So he'll go ahead and do his 2 headlands, and he will be in good shape for, you know, when he does that, everything will be planted and you don't have to worry about any kind of overlapping. Obviously, if you can do a no headland situation, which I might be able to get away with this map or this field, but sometimes you can't. It's kind of nice there. So I guess the thing to do at this moment is to jump back to this guy, and yeah, I'll show you this. Well, this one does okay, but that other tractor is definitely underpowered for that big trailer. I think I've shown you this guy's goofiness up here. You see all the stuff he's leaving now that it's grown an extra day and I didn't harvest it. And some of this I did run back and forth and pick up, so you know if you can make out the tall grass versus the short grass. And that's pretty annoying. But what are you going to do? Not going to not course play. Yeah, if I had a couple wishes for Farm Sim 17, one of them would be an in-game thing, a little better than the hired worker. I see why they can't do the course play. Taking anything away from the guys that actually built the course plays. It'd be better if it was more integrated and done well. And another wish is better HUDs. You know, I have the glance mod up there. Why can't you have something like that? The placeable storage from, you know, would be a nice thing as well. Like we have the placeable heaps by Mahru. You know, those things would be nice. But if you had a nice HUD where you could see, you know, the storage of everything on the map. Sure why you couldn't do that. In general, those would be what 2 or 3 things I kind of mentioned. And another thing would be, I just had it quick. Don't you hate that? It slips away that quick. I'll think of it later. But yeah, I don't think a HUD would be that much to ask for. And certainly course play is pretty well proven to be possible. And, you know, they already have hired workers, which are fine for harvesting the fields. But ultimately, you don't have the same kind of control with the settings that you would have. Get this dumped off. So we'll see. Kind of have mixed feelings about 17. I'm sure when they come out with it, we won't have all these wonderful mods right away, but it'll be nice to see what they do with the new version. I know a lot of people are wishing big wish lists. Mine, I don't feel are that big, or at least everybody I think would like deformable terrain. Be really cool to be able to do things not just deformable, but you know, I want to gravel this road that I'm on, or you know, edit the map in that respect. Like, you know, if I want to make an entrance to that field, I could cut into that dirt. Would be really neat. You know? backhoe and front end loader. Oh, another thing to mention, I think. See, I put another one of those as we go by. Put another silage. Oh, my trees grew. I'll have to go check that out. Too busy right now. Let's go up there. I think I'll probably wrap up the episode there. Just because I'm not sure what else is going to happen after all this busyness. I'll just be waiting for those fields to grow. Plant some more sunflowers, and I'm not sure if between these two fields I'll have enough or not, but I'll wait for this guy to come back towards us. Let's see what vehicle is kind of close. Well, you know what, we can take this guy down there because he's going to need to be there. Anyway, I have to drop off the corn header. There he goes on his headland. Very nice. So he's almost done. This won't be the fastest trip over there, though. But it's not too far. Last time I parked this header, I parked it facing facing away into the field. See all done? Let's jump over to him real quick and clean up after himself. Come on, stay down. Oh, you know what? There we go. Wonder what was happening there. I usually don't worry about these corners too much, but I do kind of want to get as much sugar beet into this thing as I can, just for the sake of it. So like I said, busy, 47 different tasks here, it feels like a bit. There's a few missed spots here and there, but not much. He did a pretty good job, except for the corners, which is typical. And the cedar guy will do about the same usually. That's a good combination with those bigger things for course play. Right? There's been a spot right up here where it turns that they've missed. I don't know if I'm remembering the planter missed or this guy. Somewhere right up here. It's just that little stretch. Don't worry about that. Yeah, see the little spots here and there. He misses. Oh, come on. Some bigger problems for myself. Alright. There we go. And be careful when turning. Those wide turns, slow turns, because otherwise it'll flip this whole tractor over and we'll have to reset it for the tune of $7,000 or something. Alright, so he's out of everybody's way. Let's get him down to the edge. One of these guys will get slurry in this field shortly. Go back to our harvester again. Get over to that field. See what we got with the trees. So this is kind of what I wanted to avoid. Now I was hoping to get that guy harvested before those trees grow, and then I wasn't going to plant crops in between them again. So now my problem is going around it. But I would like, maybe we can even find out. Let's see if we get a penalty. I don't need to do much harvesting or tree, chopping and whatnot. but I'd like to just cut down a tree and see if we get a penalty, you know, if it's planted on a field that we own. It's my understanding with that barely English words, but certainly not English words that I would use. Kind of sounds like you can cut trees down that are on your field. And I'm willing to take the penalty and the risk just to find out. Alright, so let's take this guy. Probably would have been faster just to walk over there, but it's not like I didn't need him here. We have these annoying mud puddles. Fortunately, I figured out that this guy does make it through the annoying mud puddles. Or at least this annoying mud puddle. Yeah, I think I have to vote that if I made a map, I wouldn't put the mud puddles on it. I mean, they're just not... Alright, so let's hop out. Oops, not run into our header. Look at that. That's a lot of trees, isn't it? I mean, if we fill that up, you know, I'm going to let these trees grow is another reason I don't want to do too much in the way of that. And let's try to cut a tree down all the way over on this corner so that it's not very likely to fall. Well, let's cut this guy because he's squarely in the field. Well, even more so. Let's cut this guy. So he's just a little tree. Cut. Let's see what happened here. Nope. No penalty. So there you go. So I guess he'll stand up there for a while. Hopefully he doesn't get in the way of the harvest, but I am going to log out. I have to go do some things in real life. It's Saturday morning here. Yeah, so very nice. That's, you know, at this point, if we go back here and look, you know, buying the licenses, there it is, 2, you know, you get 2 points for each one, but, you know, with me being on hard mode, you know, I really don't need the status points at this moment. I might regret it at one point, not purchasing tree licenses, that is, but for now, you know, looks like we can plant up, oops, let's get rid of this guy making noise. You know, it looks like we could plant up some trees. So I'm going to get this harvested. And that's actually, these trees are in the first growth stage. So I'm going to let them grow up for a lot more days. But that's great. And I might even consider, you know, doing some more, to be honest. You know, planting. Not sure how I'll do it, but I do like the fact I'm getting some crops off of this field. But I think in the long run, the investment in these trees is probably going to be worth more than the investment in the fields in the meantime. So we'll see. I'll think about that off camera. And I completely forgot about my chaff harvesting, dude, didn't I? And my cedar should be done. So, what else do we got? We got this guy going on, and looks like he's on his first headland of the 2. So that is a good thing. He'll be done very shortly, and we'll have some sunflowers, and we'll get the, you know, probably get this guy. Might as well go grab him while we're on camera. So let's pull this guy. Well, we might as well pull him down with me. We're going to need him in the next field where we just brought that. Train. Need him in this field eventually. Try to find some out of the way place for him. go get our silage wagon, which I think I left over on field 16. Let's just tuck him back here. He should be out of the way. Yeah, so that puts a cramp in doing course play on this field, doesn't it? I have that stupid crops in between there. We'll see. I'll get as much of that barley off there as I can. And so we'll probably we're not going to cut those trees for days, so we'll probably plant some more trees in the next episode. And, yeah, I might even stagger them by days just so I have time to work on them. I'm planting a little bit closer together than I did there. So I have a continual supply of trees to work on. Wood chips wasn't bad to sell. Leave him down here. I probably should have looked. Let's come over here. Did want to check this out. Yep, so these guys are dark blue, so they'll go next round. We got sunflowers in there growing. Just got to see about some. All right, see about some. Oh, I know where I put him. He is over here by the PGM. Alright, well, I'm going to go get that. Like I said, I'm going to call it an episode. Not real long, sure how long it is, but I'm sure it's in the ballpark, so to speak. I hope you guys have a good day. I hope you enjoyed the video. And I will, see that little wiggle in that gate. And I will talk to you sometime soon. Take care. Bye-bye.